Alrighty, and we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the finale for the Lost Tower of Ambrosia. We are getting ready as my camera goes out of focus at the perfect moment, but thank you for joining us for this one. We are getting ready to see what's going to happen when we see our dear old friend, the satellite we all know and love, the moon. But before we dive into this incredibly normal average tale, let us first go around the table, introduce ourselves, any plugs you would like to share, any projects, anything like that, by all means feel free. My name is Lucas. I will be the GM for the evening. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me as one of two GMs on Escaping Carcosa. It is our current campaign that is running on the Ballad of the Seven Dice Network, where we have two stories going. One, Pathfinder 2e. It's a bunch of people stuck in a VR MMO game, and when they die in there, they die in real life. And then the other one, Call of Cthulhu investigators in 2050 Seattle, trying to free them while looking into corporations and the mysterious creatures behind them. All right, let's go ahead. I will just do my Zoom order here. Rose.
Yeah, hi. I'm Rose. My pronouns are she, her. I also write books. I'm a dark fantasy author, and you can find my books at yrliu.com. So yrliu.com.
Awesome. Rara.
I'm Rara. I play a lot of games. Hang out on Blue Sky and Twitter. I have a little podcast where I try to make people cry, called The Heart is a Dungeon, and that's just starting. And this is my final game of the year, and I'm happy to be here.
Lottie.
Hello, I'm Lottie. My pronouns are they, she, and he, so take your pick. I am Billy Breyer in the Fairy Fire podcast, which is on hiatus. Oops. And then I have an upcoming podcast called This Is Words. We do have an Instagram. You can go follow if you want to be updated on that.
And Jeremy.
Hi, new to the show. I'm Jeremy. My pronouns are he, him. I have done writing for Legendary Games, Paizo, and various other TTRPG publishers. You can also follow me on Blue Sky under Solo Run Studio.
Okay, so diving into this, but in case you don't know how this goes, essentially this game is a lot of improv. I decided what better way to punish myself than creating a game where I must think up everything on the fly. This session is a little bit different. I do know that they're going to be facing off against the moon, but the moon's powers we will be rolling for today, so don't you worry. So how this usually goes is we will be rolling up characters, departments that they're from, as well as the cursed items they're going to be given. The players will have their stats and everything allocated, which I'll explain in a couple of moments. And we'll also be rolling up for the scenario, as well as the monster's powers in this given situation. So, all that being said, first, what we're going to do is roll up everyone's department and cursed weapon, and then I will dive into how the rules all work while everyone's building up their characters. So if everyone would like to roll me 2 of the percentile. And I will pull up my list of weird things.
Both mine were pretty low, so that's probably good. I'd assume.
Yeah, it's golf rules, so we'll just go in with a similar order that we had before. So Rose, what did you get?
I got a 14.
A 14. We're going to holidayify this. Why not? It's the 19th. The Office of Meat Eating Garland. Hooray! Everyone's
Meat
favorite.
eating?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like ham? Okay,
Like
great.
it's carnivorous.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, and then 87.
87. Ooh. Oh, we kind of had something like that. Let's see here. Okay. Tears of the Forsaken. When used on somebody to cause them to cry, it will create an unbearable sadness and grief, disabling them. All right. A perfect holiday item, if I must say.
Yep.
Rara.
I got a 9 and a 17.
9. I could switch this up a little bit. Let me just add a little bit here. So this is a shadow government for Toymaker elves. You worked with this shadow government. I'm sorry, and your item one was?
17.
17. Oh, what a flip. The laughing mask compels a wearer to laugh uncontrollably, even in dire situations. Both sides of the holidays.
Yep. We got to find a way to combine these two now.
Yeah, it'll be real fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
Lottie.
I got a 98
Ooh.
and a 54.
Okay. Division of Quantum Shifting Snowmen.
Oh.
Always a treat to be in there. Let's bold this. I'm sorry, and your item number was?
54.
54. Oh no. Okay. So the eternally suffering doll. You can inflict pain on this doll, and essentially whoever is within the vicinity of you will feel this pain endlessly. It won't stop. So if you stab the leg, it just keeps going. The fun doesn't stop here, people. Wow. Jeremy.
21.
21. Is the office for time looping reindeer. It's always Christmas Day for them. Never a
Always.
break. And for your item.
41.
41. Oh, the sinister Ouija board allows you for communication and deals with malevolent spirits.
Love it.
All right, so now that everybody has their fun items, and before we dive into rolling up for the scenario and whatnot, I'm just going to go through the rules super quick. So, how Lost Tower works is there are 4 stats that each of the characters are able to use, and they have 7 points to put within these stats. You have face punching, which is pretty much everything physical, punching people, using your face to type, eating things, all these things really, like what a normal person does. Science. It's science. It could be like calculating trajectories. It could be, trying to use computer systems, understanding chemistry, biology, you name it. Occultism is all the lovely magics we know and love in our world. I'm talking about rock magic, star magic, moon phase magic, god magic if you're the worshipping type, all that fun stuff that we know and love, as well as the cursed creatures. And then lastly, the last stat is cursed item. So this is if they want to utilize their item in any way, they have to roll on the cursed item to see how well they do. Rolling poorly could end up with this cursed item affecting them instead of everyone else. All players start off with 5 hit points. Those hit points can go fast. So basically how it works is for every point they put into face punching, it'll give them an additional hit point. Put 3 points into face punching, they'll have 8 HP for the match. And some people put them all in. It doesn't mean that your character's going to live, but hey, we'll see. The mechanics of rolling the dice, we are using a D12. It's the holidays, they deserve a little bit of love. So when you roll the D12, how it basically works is 1 to 6, doesn't go as planned, something bad's going to happen. 7 to 8, not so bad, but there are consequences. And then 10 plus, flawless. Now, you're thinking to yourself, but usually that works with 2d6. Yes, it is stacked against the players. Everyone's aware of this. We're sending these agents off to their doom. Watch the other episodes. But they'll be adding the whatever stat that they feel is appropriate to the task and then rolling the d12. And the last little thing here is giving in to a cursed item. So why not just, give away parts of you? It could be memories of loved ones, body parts, your ability to taste food, stuff like that. Basically, the stronger something you give away, then the greater bonus you're going to be getting for giving away something. But this will affect your character. Let's see here. The last things I have. So all the previous games, at the end of the game, they would pretty much come up with ideas on how to ruin things for the next group. And so we have a lot of leftover ones that still need to be thrown in, so don't worry. You're going to have a blast with these. They will be popping up. But let's go ahead and roll for this situation. So I'd like everyone to please roll me the percentile. We'll see what we can add into this. So the things that are predetermined for this one are you'll be on the moon and you'll be fighting the moon. All right, let's go around and see what we got. Rose.
Oh, the percentile die. Sorry. 77?
77. One of the moon's powers is frog summoning. This should go well.
Low gravity frogs.
Yeah. Rara.
22.
22. Okay, celestial manipulation. Now, I mean celestial, like your fun angels that everyone knows and loves. So the moon will be able to somehow manipulate God's favorite firearms. All right. And Lottie.
That's a 68.
68.
Almost a funny number.
You will be using... what a classic. A Sharknado classic. You will be using volatile explosives to be trying to take out this moon. And Jeremy.
37.
37. Let's see here. Huh. All right. The heart of the moon is manifested as a coffee mug. This says world's best boss.
Of course.
Just makes sense.
Like, are we talking like a giant coffee mug or like a regular sized coffee mug?
You are unsure. The fun fact of all this is usually the whatever like hints you be given or like readings of what's going on will be done through like soothsayers and precog experts that kind of have no idea what they're doing. They've been grifting their whole time and suddenly they're actually right and they keep getting right and then now they have to run with it. So yeah, that's who the government employs. All right, so I will go ahead and set the scene for this wild situation that's going to be happening. But I'll go ahead and set it, and then we'll have an introduction where all of you can introduce your characters, and we'll go from there. Alrighty. We see a red button light up to the signal that a microphone is on. A small box lights up beside it, partially illuminating the face of an individual who sits at a very large, hollowed-out round table. Flags of all the various countries in the world can barely be seen in this light. They clear their throat and speak into the microphone, broadcasting a message to Earth. In the year 1890, humanity's leaders were given a message. A white tower shall appear, and in it you will find your salvation and your destruction. We found the tower in the middle of the ocean, floating as though something much larger were underneath it. The halls of this tower proved treacherous and claimed many lives, but eventually we learned to navigate these halls. As the years flew by, the Lost Tower of Ambrosia's agency was formed, or the LTA. We were that shield that defended humanity against the cursed entities. For many years, we were successful at doing just that, defense. But as time wore on, the entities grew smarter. They began integrating into our world, and the infection ran deep. Politicians were promised influence. The wealthy were given even greater power, and without so much as a single gun fired, we were defeated from the inside out. Fighting a losing war, the LTA gambled on one last program. The cursed agents. Agents wielding the power of these very entities that we've been battling for well over a century. The effects were undeniable. The creatures could not stop these agents. But where we saw victory, they saw opportunity. Even though the battles we fought ended in our triumph, they have eroded us. The waters of our world are polluted, the air filled with a choking smoke. The food stores across the globe are barren, and earthquakes plague every tectonic plate. Even the very greenery of our earth has risen up to fight against us. We stand on a broken and battered planet, seeing the true face of the entity that has sworn our destruction, the very satellite we believed to be a part of us, the moon. We were fools in believing the moon was just a normal celestial body in our night sky. It has been a parasite, feeding off our world and waiting to move to the next. Matter of fact, it can be safe to consider all moons have this motive. But there's one fatal flaw. This moon has forgotten about humanity. We exist beyond rational reasoning. Even in the face of defeat, we are a wounded animal that will drag you down to our blood-stained earth and tear you apart. We do not fear the death that you threaten us with. We have existed on our planet that demands this death daily and have risen above the rest. We do not fear you, moon. We do not fear our end. It is you, O celestial body, who should fear us. For now we have a direction to point our rage. The red light clicks off the microphone, and lightning strikes outside, illuminating the room for just a moment. There are politicians sitting in every seat, grins set too wide for their faces, splitting the skin at the edge of their mouths, their eyes unblinking and dried. Black veins are visible on their sweat-covered skin, and signs of cursed corruption are clear as they've all given in. The speaker opens a suitcase with a red button on it and a spot for a key. They let out a heavy sigh as they take the key from around their neck. We move over to the LTA, the singular tower floating in the middle of the ocean, no land underneath it, no rhyme or reason of how it exists in the first place. We enter into this tower. There are machines, there are computers set up, desks, stations, everywhere, most of them empty. People have given up. They've left, or they've been killed in the field. You all are shuffled into one of the last offices that still has enough power. On one side of the wall, you see a number of these screens are lit up, and it's showing catastrophic events happening all around the planet. This table is littered with papers, plans, things that are crossed out. You see sitting in a high-backed chair at one far end of this table, Their Special Agent Kyle. He's sitting in a plain gray suit, his hair combed over to the side, glasses resting on his nose, and a coffee cup in his hands. He takes a sip from it as he looks at all of you and waves to all the open chairs. You four sit down, and he looks at all of you. I didn't read what your names were or anything, so go around the table and introduce yourselves while I finally have a damn cup of coffee. And why don't we go ahead and introduce you all? So we'll just do the same order we've been doing this whole time. Rose, why don't you go ahead and tell us about your character? You are muted if you're talking.
Yep. The mute on the microphone. Yeah. So you see like a small petite young woman sitting on the edge, perched on like the edge of her chair, and like her feet not quite touching the ground because she's like 4'6". She's very small. She's got like big round doe eyes in like big round glasses. She's wearing a chunky, ugly Christmas sweater, leggings, combat boots, and like a little party hat with like silver tinsel wrapped around it. And she's like, so I thought you called us here for an office Christmas party. My mistake. I don't think I'm dressed correctly for this occasion. But my name is Holly Merriweather, and hi, nice to meet you. I used to be a mall elf before all malls died and no one was taking their kids to see Santa anymore. So I was actually really excited because I thought this was going to be a Christmas party. And I'm just hoping that there's going to be some eggnog at some point today.
Eggnog? What? Christmas? This is why I hate interdimensional traveling. One moment. And he pulls out a phone and he's looking things up. Wow. All right. Well, we can put a baby in the corner. Will that make it better for you?
Not really, no.
I can ask one of the trees. Very well.
I like trees. Can we have a star on the tree?
Yes. So he claps his hands and this evergreen moves in, and then he yells at it and it leaves, and then it comes back. And you see one of the famous TV movie stars is pinned on top of the tree as they're screaming in pain, and it crawls to the corner. Perfect. And you.
You would see what appears to be a mailman, but if you look closer, he's oddly transparent because Dear John is a ghost. He was a mailman who was killed by a train on Valentine's Day, so his body's made out of love letters, obviously. He works in the shadow government for the elves, so he's the one you would talk to if you need your name wiped from the naughty list off the records, because he gathers secrets and cares about love. But he's dead.
Love that. Yeah, and he glances over in your direction, Lottie.
Yes, there is a very old man sitting there with large glasses and a little pork pie hat and a nice thick cardigan with a pair of mittens on his hands, not on the cardigan. And yes, he were.
Oh. The moon strikes before we've even hopped in.
They do that sometimes, don't worry.
It's
My back.
There we go. Welcome back.
So sorry.
It's okay.
Anyway, he considers himself more of an artist, an ice sculptor, and his name is Mr. Humphreys Jr.
Mr. Humphrey Jr. Kyle then finishes writing his love letter and slides it to Dear John. If you can go ahead and get that sent out, and it's addressed to me, as Kyle has sent himself a love letter.
I eat it.
Stares for a moment. That makes sense. All right.
You have fine penmanship.
Thank you. I've practiced so much on people. And lastly, looks at Jeremy.
And in that chair, you see a young man. Clearly, he's dressed for what might be his first professional job, in pants that have been ironed maybe twice, maybe 6 times, and a shirt that is so crisp you could bounce a baseball off of it. And he's looking around very nervously. He's got some sweat running down his face, and he says, "So, Mr. Prancer and the TLR sent me over here to get my badge printed, and I'm starting to think I'm in the wrong place. Oh, I'm sorry, Bart Stevenson. I'm new here. They brought me on to fix the SEO on the website."
Oh, perfect. Yes, if you can just make sure that anytime anyone searches Kyle, they find the website and then it redirects them to my page on there. I made a fun one. I just pulled it over from the GeoCities, so it should be fine. And he slides, he takes like this cooler off to the side and slides some ice in front of Mr. Humphrey. I believe this is what you needed for your lunch?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Sorry, he slid what over to me? I look in it.
It's ice. It's just a block of
Oh,
ice.
Thank you. Yes. Very, very nice. I'll just put this right here.
The HR's been saying that I've been too rude to all the agents who've been going through here because they're risking their lives or something. I don't know. Anyways, I gotta get the hell off this planet. But all that being said, I'm also sending you off it as well. So, you're going on the moon and I need you to blow that shit up. You're probably wondering, how? Well, great news. And he pulls out this just like greasy bin, like slams it down on the table, pushes it forward. There are these, like, it looks very much like if you were watching an action movie, some guy's like, I know how to make bombs. And they just like tape everything together and put a couple wires in a little timer. All right, so these are very, very dangerous. We've managed to amplify them with a lot of cursed energy, so they'll really blow up. So you got 4 of these baddies. You want to try to figure out just, well, how to do it. Maybe you just throw them all together and click boom. Now, be careful, because if they are all together, you're probably all not going to make it back. But good luck.
And Bart will lean over to Mr. Humphreys and say, "Is that what a GeoCities is?"
I honestly have no idea.
And he hands an explosive device to each of you and slaps a button on the table as your chairs all go straight and you slide down into these tunnels. And you're going through all these. It's so much fun. Oh, what a blast. There's Christmas music playing, but it's the power starting to go out, so it warps in and out, in and out. Sounds a little strange. And then you fly out of these, falling into a mound of snow. Oh, I'm just holidaying the hell out of this episode. And you can hear, not too far, this sound of this just greasy motor that needs a lot of love and care, as the station wagon not too far from you is grumbling.
I love the sound of a greasy motor from the snow. I always have. Does anyone know how to drive?
I can give it a go. I haven't driven in. It doesn't matter. I'll drive.
Humphrey
I don't
seems
think my
fine.
feet can reach the pedals.
Yeah, my feet can reach pedals. I can twist a steering wheel.
So as you
What about you, new guy?
I don't have my driver's license yet. Also, I think that station wagon might be as old as Mr. Humphreys over here.
Hey.
And you're from the drilling team, right? To go to the center so we can...
Drilling team. Yeah, yes. And he shuffles several papers, looking through his employee handbook to try and find some terms.
I pull out a love letter that's somebody describing Armageddon to their partner, and it's like, this young lady says that if we drill all the way to the middle, we can split it apart and save everyone. And she loves Henry.
And sorry, I think I missed something there.
She misses Henry.
Oh, of course, yes. Drilling team?
To the car.
As you all sort of get out of the snow, the station wagon's there grumbling, a little bit of smoke coming from under the hood. You're, oh, okay. All right, well, one last go of things, I guess. Oh, it's been a rough one.
This is the station wagon speaking?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm with the LTA. I used to actually be a member of the LTA, and I had a beautiful, loving family before I slowly started transforming into a old station wagon, and my wife left me because she wouldn't stick around, and, well, after I used to be really close with my kids because I could drive them places, but after a while, they didn't need me to do that anymore, so I'm just gonna,
We can tell you're tired.
This is the very, very dark sequel to Teen Turbo.
I give the station wagon a nice pat on the hood.
Oh.
Well, we're going up to the moon, it looks like. So hope you're all ready.
So ready.
Humphrey will be driving you. Is that all right?
I mean, you could sit there. I'll probably take over, but if you want to pretend and like put your hands on the steering wheel, and I can feel the touch of another person that I haven't felt in years.
Yes, I will do that. It's very good for me to feel useful.
Should we avert our eyes?
No. I will also touch the car. It'll just be sad.
And so the station wagon, as you're all getting in, starts rumbling a bit. All right, we gotta get ready for space travel. Now, as we all know, in order to get into space, we can't just be friends anymore. We have to be family, right? That's how somebody can use a car to get into space. By becoming family, the power of family will allow me to shoot into the sky. That's how cars work. It's how they've always worked. We all know these things.
And
Makes
cows.
perfect sense. I have no questions.
Makes about as much sense as Santa's sleigh. So perfect sense. Yeah.
Now, how we managed that is we did have the owner of Olive Garden declare the inside of my car an Olive Garden, which makes all of you family here at the Olive Garden. So let's go ahead and start this up.
How convenient.
Oh. Pulls out a letter about a date at Olive Garden. The best food they had ever had.
Bart looks up with a breadstick in his mouth.
There are free breadsticks. I don't know where they come from, but they just keep appearing.
Wait, I stuffed my pockets full of breadsticks.
As one does.
In this economy, yeah.
As the car starts moving forward, you go into this tunnel where there are all these shadows and specters moving along the sides, screaming for you to help them. As they're trapped and locked in the tunnel, you hear a few bumps when people are like, help them. It's like, oh, yeah, that happens every time. Don't even worry about that. Oh, that reminds me a lot of when I went to go meet my friend Dave, and I went, oh, how's it going? I was so excited, but I was also in car form, and I accidentally ran over him.
Oh.
Yeah, still think about that. Still think about that scream. All right. Oh.
I'm going to pass some letters out the window because I realize I have mail for some of these haunted spirits. I was like, oh, Jefferson. Sorry, it's real late. Sorry.
Appreciate it. It's taking the letter.
She said no.
Oh.
Oh.
And the rumbling starts increasing inside the station wagon. Little lights start glittering around it. The power of Olive Garden and family and Fast and the Furious mechanics allow us to propel ourselves forward. It starts hitting at this increased slope as you fire out of an active volcano, the lava spewing everywhere. It's all right, though. The AC's on. And you just propel into the sky, past the clouds, outside the atmosphere where you see the moon. Now, the moon looks a little bit different than normal. It is still spherical, as you expect, with the little pock marks all over it from rocks hitting it. But it has a large open mouth and one large eye staring down at the planet. The teeth you think would be sharp, signifying a predator, but they're blunt like people's teeth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The eye quickly darts in your direction as the station wagon is moving and careening down. It hits down onto the lunar surface. Dust flies everywhere. Oh, don't worry about breathing the atmosphere. Not a lot of people know this, but there's air on the moon. As the quick plot device activates, allowing for lunar travel. And the station wagon comes to a stop. Well, I guess kind of need to hang around so you could all get back, and I also can't get back without you, so just let me know when you're ready to go. Or I'll just pick up your corpses and fly when you're done.
Thank you.
I'll give him another pat on the hood.
I appreciate
Thank you so much.
Don't try to
Nice
be a
car.
pain, but I'll pat the windshield.
As Holly hops out of the car, she's gonna like take a little like ornament bauble out of her bag and like hang it on the rearview mirror. It's like, Merry Christmas, bye.
Oh, wow. This reminds me when I tried to go home for Christmas and I lit the tree on fire and burnt the turkey. Oh, memories. As the station wagon tries to putt to a bit of a safer distance. As safe as you can be on a living moon. As you're all looking around the lunar surface, it is about as much as you'd expect. There is the dirt, the rock, the dust sort of like kicked up every so often while you're moving. There is the lesser gravity allowing you to sort of bound and have a little bit of fun when you're all kind of like testing out how the moon works. This bubble starts forming on the ground. At first, it just looks like the dirt and debris are starting to rise, and then this sort of cyst is forming on the moon. You see little veins are moving along it. It keeps growing larger until it bursts. Pus splatters outward, some of it flying into the air a little too far, and stepping out of it is an individual, a human by the looks of it. And they're wiping this quickly evaporating goo off of them. They're feeling their head and pulling hair out of the skin to give them a sense of more humanity as they're trying things out. They're pulling teeth out of their gums and creating fingernails. As they look over at all of you, they have just very basic clothing, like beige pants and a white t-shirt. Ah, you're the ones who landed on me, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Not a lot left over in the agency, I see.
Hey, we're actually the top of the agency. We're the best of the best. And we're gonna blow up the moon, I think, is what's happening here.
I'm not sure we were supposed to tell him that.
I did wonder how you were going to try to stop me from eating.
We were going to wait till it was night so you wouldn't see us.
Well, I am the night's eye. You see, I guess it's time for me to monologue. That's the time right now. I discovered Earth going through a perfect planet for life, and I deposited the basics to create humanity and watched you flourish and grow. And you hit a population level where you just look good enough to eat. And so that's where we're at now. Your leaders were warned what to expect, but
Mr. Moon, sorry. I think based on your description, that makes us your great 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 grandchildren, and you're gonna eat us?
survival of the fittest, as they always say. I believe
wanted
you
to-
all coined that phrase.
I've wanted to kill the moon for a long time, actually, so I get this vendetta has bad roots that go deep.
There are a few towns that have festivals where they burn effigies of the moon, screaming that I'm not real. I really think they were the closest ones to figuring it out.
Pull out a
So,
whole.
so you made us so
Right.
you can eat us. Does that mean we're the gingerbread cookies?
Great. Yes, that's exactly it. And I'm ready to consume. And I'll move on to the next planet, make sure that it can have life, maybe tinker with it a little, and then create humanity again. I must have eaten humanity hundreds of thousands of times.
What happens if you just what if you didn't? What if you didn't do that? What if you didn't eat everyone? What would happen?
I don't know. I've never done it. But I get so much joy when I eat all of you. I get all your memories, your emotions, your thoughts.
That
So
sounds very close to the definition of insanity.
I think Mr. Humphreys is onto something. If you've never tried it, how do you know? It might be better. Maybe denying yourself will actually increase your enjoyment.
Then the next one you do, delaying it will make you want it all the more.
Eat our children, not us, is what we're trying to say.
Oh, I was saying like you go to a different planet
Oh,
and
that's
eat
better.
them.
I like that one better.
Okay, yeah, no. Yeah. No, I am going to eat you all. We've already
Oh.
started. And then you look sort of, I guess it'd be hard to look around the corner of the moon. So basically, they create this disc in the sky as it
Thank you.
shifts and changes, and you can see that there is this almost tractor-like beams, like a whirlwind. Essentially, the moon is sucking up, and you're seeing little people are all just starting to lift towards the moon's mouth.
You know, eating too many cookies makes you fat.
Oh, I never have to worry about that. I have a wonderful metabolism. And then I think, who knows, maybe I will be gifted the ability to hatch. Wouldn't that be great?
Wait, so you're an egg?
Think of it more like a caterpillar kind of situation. And I'm still in the cocoon.
That's really disappointing because I really wanted eggnog. And like, if you were an egg, then we could just make the world's biggest eggnog ever after we explode you.
Oh, here. And then it just creates this pitcher of eggnog that's floating in front of you.
So
I
do
don't
you
know
want to
about
be
drinking that.
do you want to be a planet or a star? Like, what are you when you hatch?
I guess you would consider something akin to God.
Amazing.
And then we leave
Good
this
for you.
reality and we move up. But I haven't eaten enough of you yet.
Are you sure?
I'm not full yet.
And yet you have all these craters, these hollow places you can't fill.
Well,
With a mug like that, one might want to be a little careful.
Are you threatening me?
No, I'm worried about you now that you're God. I want you to be safe.
The ground forms more of these little cysts and they start popping as you're watching these frog.
Oh.
They're like humanoid frogs. They're sort of getting up and stretching. Large angelic wings are lifting from their backs.
I love them.
I hate them.
I'm neutral about them. Haven't decided yet.
Jury's out.
Well, enjoy. And the frogs all start launching towards all of you.
Oh no.
That's not going to fly.
Should we run back to the car? Make him drive us away from the angel frogs?
We flip over to the car. The car is hitting these craters because there's low gravity, just ramping off them. Woo! It's like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. It's getting all the VHSs.
Oh man, wouldn't want to interrupt him, huh?
Yeah, he's living
Could
his
I-
best life right now.
Could I fold some love letters in a paper planes to try to throw them at the frogs?
100%.
Awesome.
I guess that would probably fall under occultism.
Yeah. I have a +3 to a 9, so a dirty 12, if
Oh,
that's
all
what
right.
you call it.
So you start folding these up quickly, launching them towards these frogs. Two of the frogs get hit in the air and they spiral and they crash down near each other, and their hands land on top of one another's. They look up at each other. Having been only alive for a matter of seconds, they've never experienced love. Not like this.
And that was one from Samantha. She is great with the adverbs.
And these frogs start croaking at each other as they start holding
Oh,
hands.
they're dying.
Are they still attacking us?
There are a great many frogs.
There are many frogs.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Can I tell my fellow co-workers to back up a little bit and take out my eternally suffering doll when some frogs get nearby, and just slice both of the doll's Achilles tendons?
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and roll that cursed item?
I do that. What I said. Okay. What about a 9?
All right. So you pull out. I imagine it's some knife related to ice carving.
Yeah, like a.
I've
like
watched
a
enough
chisel.
really bad Hallmark movies while drinking wine that I should know the name of this, but I don't. So you take this out, you cut the tendons on the doll as this sort of wailing from the doll just echoes out from it. All these frogs in the air just sort of twist and curl in that are near you, and they start hitting the ground, holding their ankles, and you feel a slice on one, not both, of yours as you are taking one harm from this, and you feel like you're moving a little slower.
That's fine.
How about you other two?
Bart's not ready to dip into the cursed item just yet, but feels like this is a practical application of his skills where he can really prove his worth to the company and maybe, attract the attention of upper management. So he's going to get into some fisticuffs with the frog angels.
Love it.
Holly was really prepared for a Christmas party and not a mission, but she has like a little tote bag that says like "Happy Ho Ho Holidays" on it with like a pinup girl dressed in a Santa outfit. And so she reaches in and she takes out some like candy canes, and she kind of like sucks on them real quick to like sharpen them, and then just holds them like Wolverine claws between her fingers and is ready to slice some frogs.
All right, I need face punching from the two of you.
All right. That's a 9 + 4 for a total of 13.
All right, so you frogs, known for their weak bone structure, start crunching as you're punching them.
I got a 9.
9. So you take these sharpened candy canes. You start stabbing right into so many frogs. It is this rage that is just filling into you. The two of you, Bart, you're really trying to prove your worth. You're hitting these. You can hear how many times you've been rejected in these letters saying like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're too qualified," even though you have no experience. What does that mean? Or they're like, "We're looking for someone with 7 to 10 years of experience in this software that just came out last year." As you're sitting there perplexed, and so you're attacking these frogs. And Holly Merriweather, you are rushing forward with these candy canes, stabbed into frogs, feeling frog blood all around you as you're just screaming out saying, "I thought this was a Christmas party," as you're hitting all these frogs around you, and you feel one of the tongues latch out and it grabs onto your hand and then just like twists, and you feel like 2 of your fingers break as you let go of the candy canes in that hand. Then you stab the candy cane into its head in true Christmas fashion as you take 1 harm.
All right.
So frogs are falling all around you, some falling in love around you. There's just all this chaos and carnage, and the moon is watching all of you. You see that they have changed their clothing to look like one of those holiday sweaters, like what Holly Merriweather is wearing, and they have red pants on and black boots. The one gift I really, really loved that humans came around with was senseless violence. I think it's truly amazing. You attack and destroy and consume and destroy and attack, and it's remarkable. Most of the time you do it just simply for the thrill of it. There are no species like you out there.
Aren't
So
you
you
doing the
should
same
not
thing?
eat us.
I'm simply eating to continue to survive. But you just like violence for violence. You place two of your humans in circles and have them harm one another while everyone on the side screams.
Chess is a peaceful game. It just involves the mind and fast thinking.
Then you
I have
haven't watched
scissors?
the latest chess games.
Does anyone have scissors?
I've got chisels. They're sharp.
All right, I'm gonna try to make some scissors out of frog bones.
100%. It's, you know what? It's like they were made to be.
That is a 6. Is this science?
Yes, it would be science, yeah.
Okay, so I have a 2, so 8.
So you make these scissors. I mean, they look pretty good. As you're like sort of like breaking and snapping these frog bones, and
These look pretty good.
you shove a little piece of bone between two of them, and now they got like sort of the scissoring motion. As you're looking over at everyone else, there's just so much frog gore everywhere.
I'd make a good grip on it so it could be ribbit for my pleasure. And if that took my whole action, I can wait till the next turn to use them for
No, it's fine. What do you
something.
want to do with them?
I want to start cutting up love letters to put them on a piece of paper about the moon. I want to write the moon a love letter out of all my parts.
Ooh, a little collage.
He seems hungry and he can't fill a void.
Okay.
Maybe he doesn't just want souls.
I love it. Okay, yes, you start cutting that up. How about the rest of you?
Can I kind of see? I'm sorry, Rara. Remind me your character's name.
My name is Dear John.
Dear John. Well, can I kind of see what Dear John is doing? Kind of be like, I see what you're doing, and I'll assist Dear John by carving a beautiful, very almost kind of abstract heart out of ice. That's yes, to sort of like add to the love letter.
I like that. I think that'll also fall under science.
Ghost tier. I was once also carved from a heart of ice.
Wow. That is a 12.
All right, looking great as you carve it up. And like this, it's remarkable how fast you are at this. You've done so much. Your hands cramp when they're doing anything other than holding these tools.
That's true.
How about you, Holly Merriweather and Bart Stevenson?
Bart? Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Bart is just covered in Frog Angel gore. It's like dripping from his face and all over his clothes. He's never gonna get this interview outfit clean again. And he looks down at the mess that he is just covering him, and he's like, I applied to 30 jobs a day for the last 6 months, and now the moon's gonna kill the Earth. And he just can't take it anymore. And you can see like he snaps and he reaches into his messenger bag and he pulls out this Ouija board and he whispers to it in a dark, dark whisper. How can I make the moon fall in love with a ghost?
Oh, okay.
I guess that's cursed item.
Yeah, roll a cursed item.
That's an 8.
All right, so you're quickly using this. Your hands are flying across it as ghosts are all like, "Oh, romance. Oh, we've been dead for so long. This sounds nice." As like they're all jumping at the bit, but you feel some of your life force being drained from you as you take a point of harm.
No more than the job search took.
That's right. Oh, give me flashbacks to July. Holly Merriweather, there's a lot of romance work happening here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pitch in. So Holly's gonna reach into her bag and take out more candy canes. Just like, I've always thought that if you put two candy canes together, they kind of make a heart. Maybe we can tape some of these to the letter to make hearts. And they're edible, so it's like a fun treat.
Snack into the equation.
Everyone likes snacks.
And it's real useful if anyone hurts their leg and is small.
Like 6 inches tall.
Yeah.
As the moon continues to inhale people and gets a few fast food restaurants in there, loves a snack. So I don't know what you would roll for this, adding your candy canes. Let's see here.
Can I magically infuse them with Christmas cheer?
You know what? I love it. Let's do that occultism.
Ooh, nat 12 plus 2.
All right. So looking great as you're infusing them with Christmas cheer. If anything, it causes them to like fuse together to create these perfect little candy cane hearts. You're setting them up. You are all getting ready as you first are grabbing this ghost that will be the subject of the love, but unable to reach this ghost because, it is dead. And then you have the letter crafted up, this ice heart behind it as you're putting the little candy cane hearts together. And the moon is just watching you all in fascination as it's picking up some of the frog bodies and just putting them in a little pile. And it's you notice like it takes like some of them and it starts rolling them up into the others to make a large ball at the bottom. Then it makes a smaller one and then the smallest, and it rips off one of its fingers for a nose, and it takes its own teeth out for the teeth for the snowman, and then it pulls its eyes out and puts them into the meat frog snowman. And as it grows these all back. Look,
Gotta appreciate a good snowman.
I did an Earth tradition.
You're a dad.
Yeah, I suppose I am. What shall we name them?
Congratulations.
Ooh,
What about after their mother, Luna?
Luna.
Luna. It's the most common name for a dog. Very well, Luna.
You're quick on your moon phone with those facts.
Claps its hands as the snowman sort of trembles and 8 legs sort of pop out of it and hit down as it lifts itself up. These little spindly frog arms grow and grow out of the side as it's just dripping the frog guts and blood. And this is when the love happens from your letter, and this spirit is flying around. How does this work from all of your perspective? What do you think happens at this moment?
The tone of the letter is from the planet Pluto, reminding the moon how he used to be the world to him, and that now they don't even consider them a world anymore. But how the moon started as a tiny rock and its only hunger was company, and now what is this? But it's all from Pluto, in that kind of nostalgic, remember other Christmases around Jupiter type of tone.
Somebody that I used to know plays softly in the background.
The spirit picks up on this and just sails through our known galaxy, hitting into Pluto. As we see in the far distance, this energy shifts around it. A large eye forms on Pluto and a mouth as it's looking around, and a single tear forms. And the moon turns its eye towards Pluto as the cursed magic infects this satellite. Pluto. Huh. Suppose it has been a few millennia, hasn't it? I don't even know how I would look at Pluto anymore. I've changed so much. I've gained
Look at them full.
so much mass.
Look at them full.
Back in the day, when I was terrorizing civilizations and consuming them wholeheartedly, growing, laughing,
As one does, as one does.
And Pluto would rotate around me, joining me for these.
Hmm.
And then, when I started creating the little humans on Earth, and time flew by, and Pluto was enjoying their time, I'd always go back to the edge to see how Pluto's doing. And then I hear that Pluto's been named... It's been named a planet. That broke my heart.
Because to you it was a star, wasn't it? One you could wish on still.
Planets are where we grow food. We cannot find love.
There's no love where there's food.
This was not a garden I could tend to. And I knew that Pluto, very sentimental, would start to care about the little creatures that I would grow on its surface and would get mad when I eat them, but I need to eat them.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're here. There isn't a century that goes by where I don't momentarily think about them.
How long would it take you to get there? We could turn this thing around right now.
I don't know.
We could be there in time for Christmas.
I mean, I got a lot more pockmarks on me from small little meteorites. I don't look good right now.
No, you look amazing. Look at you.
The United Nations headquarters is in my teeth.
You just use your tongue. Do you have one of those?
I do. Yeah, I have been using it to lap up the waters of Earth's oceans.
Oh, yes.
This is thirsty work.
Just come up when Pluto's facing the other way and you can meet back to back. They can read your pockmarks like Braille and tell the story of your time away.
Maybe I could just drag them on over. Why not?
Maybe.
Why not?
Why not?
Bart will look Moonlactus in the eye and be like, "How long can you wait? How long can you wait for this one chance?
You're right.
Companionship and love. Don't miss your chance."
And it starts to focus this energy. Humans are going up a little bit slower now, fewer in number, as it focuses its energy towards Pluto and pulls this towards the Earth. It is hurtling through space at record speeds. It is smashing through. Saturn's beautiful ring just gets wrecked as Pluto just hurls right through it. But there's an energy around Pluto protecting it as Pluto eventually slowly rests before. Meanwhile, on Earth, as people are screaming and being absorbed, there's now a second gravitational pull towards things, and people are screaming as like the tides are shifting. Everything's gone to hell. One person's still working at a 7-Eleven because of course they are. And they're sitting there going, "Oh, it looks like shit outside, but at least no one's robbing me today." And we go back to the moon, looking at Pluto.
I scoot my ice sculpture toward the moon and sort of...
Oh, thank you. And uses moon magic, as one does, lifting it and floating it towards Pluto. Pluto's eyes locking on it, frantically looking down at the planet. "So what is this? You're just going to drag me over here? You just you don't call, you don't talk to me for centuries? And then you just want me to come by and watch you eat these people on this planet?"
He didn't want to eat alone.
So you want me to eat the people of this planet?
For love, maybe, yeah. Be better than for hunger.
Moon, this is just like you. You know, it's when it's convenient for you, you want to bring me back into your lunar orbit. But what about what I want? Maybe I wanted NASA to still be there and to reinstate me as a planet. NASA's a bunch of fools. You don't even need them. We can create another species with a NASA and make you a planet there. Don't worry about humans. They have a bunch of terrible ideas. Do you remember the spork? No one talks about it.
They're really beautiful, Moon. You were right. Heavenly body, for sure.
Moon?
Holly's just full on sitting cross-legged on the ground with like a bucket of popcorn. Like, when I like hand out popcorn to my fellow agents to just be like, "This is the saddest drama I've ever seen. They want to be together, but they can't because of irreconcilable differences."
Could I whisper to my teammates without the moon and Pluto hearing? Is that possible in this venue?
They seem distracted right now, for sure, yeah.
We need to convince them to go on a date so we can put a bomb in spaghetti so when they get to the middle to kiss, it explodes. We need a restaurant and we need it quick.
Oh,
Olive Garden?
Bart?
car!
Yeah.
We've got the
Get the car.
breadsticks.
I've got so many bread. I took so many breadsticks. Just
We
in
can take the
case.
back seats out, maybe lay them down like a
Yeah,
weird
yeah, yeah.
futon.
I can make some champagne glasses out of ice.
I'll go get the stuff from the car. You guys stay here and plan it.
I start to make champagne glasses out of ice and a little ice candle with a little ice rose.
So Pluto, now having all this ghost energy and power that you've given it, it creates an image of a person now standing on the lunar surface towards Moon so that they could talk to one another, and it's not just two large bodies yelling and reverberating through your skull. So what? You bring me here, you show me that you're eating again, people, and then you try to give me a beautiful ice sculpture, I will admit, and yes, my surface is cold enough that it will not melt. So I do appreciate that, but you can't just buy me off with gifts. What we had was real, but you threw it away for ambition. You know what I want, Pluto. I want to hatch. I want to become a god. I want more than this. I want more than just eating these little weird people. That they go to small bodies of water and they throw strings with metal hooks on them to attack local wildlife and stand awkwardly in a photo they'll later use for a Tinder dating profile.
Well, he's on Tinder.
Oh, you're on Tinder now, huh? No, that's not what I meant. I was just looking. You were just looking, were you? And
Posting moons.
meanwhile, Dear John, you are rushing over to the car, and there are more of these boils that are starting to form up on the moon.
Oh, he's laughing.
They're looking like they're ready to burst with more of these frog folk.
I'm going to see if the seat pops out. Like if I can pull out the back seat and drag it over there so we can lay it down, make a little table. Also considering if Holly and I might want to convince him it's a masquerade dinner because we each have a mask. And how would they be if one of them was just laughing and one was just crying? Would they work it out? Is this therapy dinner? Maybe. But I'll try to bust out a seat and drag it over there. My face punch is 1.
All right. Roll it.
2, but a solid 2 plus 1, so 3.
You know what? I will admit that is a solid 2. But so you start to try to pull this out, and the station wagon starts screaming, "Oh God, you are pulling out my insides! This is terrible!" And the doors start like swinging and flapping as you get hit, and a bunch of your love letters scatter around you as you take 2 harm.
I watch them.
Can we say I hear that commotion, then I go help?
Yeah, probably the horns honking a little bit.
All right. Yeah.
Have you ever
I'm gonna
been
go
with a
help.
couple car?
Have I ever been a third wheel?
Yeah, because I need your back seat. I need that junk in your trunk right now.
Oh, it's been so long.
I know you're nervous, but like, it's Christmas.
Maybe I hope my radio still works. If there's a radio to pick up.
Your antenna's beautiful, and I'll start pulling the seat again. Just let go.
Yeah, and I'm gonna help with the seat. I'm just kind of like, it'll be easier if you relax.
All right, one of you roll me that face punch.
Okay.
I'll let them do it. It's a 3.
Oh my God, natural 1.
Oh,
Plus 3, but it's natural
so this
1.
is what happens. You're pulling Holly Holly Merriweather, you start pulling with everything you got, and you feel the seat is coming loose. You have this just Christmas strength as you are pulling it out, and you start smelling something irony, something coppery as the vehicle is screaming, and you rip the seat out as you go sailing with it. A lot of blood is pouring out of the car where you rip the seat out. There's so much blood coming out.
I'll clot him with letters.
You go sailing with this seat, and you hit your head on a moon rock, classic moon rock, and just hits like right in the back as you take 2 harm from that.
All right.
Bart, drawn by the commotion, has decided that he is in the strangest Hallmark movie ever, and he's got to make this romance happen. So like coming up onto the bloody the station wagon covered in blood and breadsticks, he's like, you know what? As far as the moon's concerned, that's marinara. We're here to make a pasta.
Love it. Love it.
So he starts working with the olive greenness of it, and he's gonna make this dinner happen.
You know what? Cooking is a science, as we always say.
I'm going to try to clot the blood with letters while they're doing all that, too.
It's a lot of screaming and honking, but yeah.
Yeah. Sadly,
Right.
science, not Bart's strong point. That's a 4.
All right, so you're like, this should work because you're making something that looks edible. And then for some reason, you're so, like, here's the thing. I imagine Bart doesn't have a lot of money. And then you're like smelling this meal you're making. You're like, I haven't eaten in too long. So then you go to try some of it, and it is not meant for you. This is not a meal meant for a mortal person, as it is horrible, and it's burning your mouth as you're spitting it out. You'll take 2 harm from it.
Can I come up behind Bart? Look down over his shoulder?
Yeah, Bart has a bunch of blood pouring out of his
Say-
mouth. It's
What recipe you using there?
I think it's working.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Listen, I've been a single man for a long time. I know how to make some spaghetti. I'm gonna try and help him with the spaghetti and try to improve this dubious meal.
yeah,
The science?
you betcha.
Oh, that's a 1. For a total of 5.
You know what? This is
Might
great.
be better.
You're like
So many nat ones.
you go to
Step aside.
You go to take out like a knife to be like, all right, so let's chop up some veggies, and you just cut one of your fingers off. It's like, oh god, because they're so sharp. They're meant to deal with ice, and so you're like, oh my god, blood is spurting out.
jeez. It's fine.
You take 2 harm from that. You have like a cloth on your hand, and as you're all sort of like screaming and trying to deal with things, and the car is honking, you hear a scuttling, a crawling, as Luna comes over the crater's edge, looking down at you. Its eyes, it doesn't have eyelids, so its eyes just sort of looking in different directions until it focuses on all of you. Its teeth smile and like a broken frog mouth that was caved in by Bart's fist, and it reaches its hands out as you watch as these nails start forming out of broken bone, and it starts crawling quickly towards. What do you all want to do as you're in the middle of making dinner, frankly?
If I eat one of the bloody letters that I soaked up the car with, can I give it one of my hit points?
You want to give the car one of your hit points?
Yeah, I feel bad.
Okay,
It
sure,
didn't go
yeah.
how I expected.
Yeah, I love that. Why don't you go ahead, roll me occultism. We'll see how well it goes.
7 plus 3.
All right, so it goes just as exactly how you want it to go. So you transfer like a hit point over the car. You watch as some of the wound heals up, and it's sort of like a gooey scab where the seat used to be connected to the car's body. As his honking slows down, the radio turns towards more of like sad music. Oh God, what did you? Thank you.
My eyes blur and I see him as like a bumper car at a mini golf when he was a little kid, a micro machine before that, and just, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Just remember, I remember when one of my kids, I brought him over. It's Dad's weekend. They're driving in, the front seat, and I was like, "Hey, I'll make you some chili." And I was making a can of chili on the where you light up the cigarette.
I see the stain. I see it right there.
Burn the hell out of my seat.
That'll be my turn.
Okay. How about the rest of you?
Luna is.
I'm gonna.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna take out one of my candy canes again, and I'm just gonna be like, I'm turned to Luna and be like, fetch, and then just throw it, just in a completely different direction from where we are.
Love it. Okay. I mean, animal training. It's a science.
Can I toss my finger along with the candy cane and like give her advantage or something?
You know what? Why don't you go ahead and roll science as well? We'll see. I can just add an extra benefit onto there.
12.
All right. So this is what happens. You get the candy canes and you hurl them. Throwing things wasn't always your best, as you just kind of throw them a little awkwardly. They some of them shatter down near you, and Luna is scuttling so fast, doesn't have enough time to turn, and its body just like stabs into you as it's trying to scuttle around after the candy canes, and then a finger goes flying past it as it just crawls towards it even faster. You do take one harm from all the jagged bones sticking out of Luna's fleshy frogman body. How about you, Bart?
Bart isn't quite ready to give up on the Hallmark dream here. And Luna's just in the way. He's a small man, but he is filled with rage. He attacks Luna. He just can't hold it back.
Wonderful.
He pulls out his employee handbook and just starts wailing on that thing. Oh, well. I mean, he's got a lot in face punch, but that's a 2, so total of 6.
All right, so you rush forward, and Luna's body shifts towards you as you're running. You bring down this employee's manual on one of Luna's arms. You hear a snap and a crack as part of the arm just falls off with the hand, so it only has one hand left. And you're feeling triumphant. You're like, if this was an interview, I would have killed it. Just that, as you feel the other claw just rip across your chest, ruining even more what clothes you had. You might have been able to salvage the dress shirt underneath, and you take another 2 harm as it just cuts right across you.
Oh, that's it for Bart.
Is Bart dead?
Yeah.
Oh no. So Bart, how do you want to go fighting Luna? What does it look like?
He just he goes down fighting. At no point does he stop. He's on the ground. He's got one of Luna's spindly little arms in his mouth, trying to bite his way through it. He's got a broken arm, and the other arm he's flailing away at the head of the snow beast, and just he looks back to the group and he's like, never give up the Hallmark dream.
We won't, Bart. We won't.
And Luna, you're fighting. You rip off Luna's other arm with your teeth, just waving it around as Luna starts to eat Bart. But Bart's Ouija board does fall down onto the ground, just discarded. So there's 3 of you remaining. A lot of wounding has happened.
Oh.
There is food. There are seats. Luna's distracted at the moment.
I have to continue Bart's dreams, so I do my best with this beautiful meal that we made together, and set a nice little picnic up with my icicle champagne glasses with nothing in them. That just occurred to me. We'll figure it out. And some plates and a fork and a knife and a spork that I made out of ice.
Oh, wow.
And the candle and rose as well. Just as beautiful as I can make it.
The 2 entities come up to the edge of the crater as they're watching Luna eat, and all of you are standing there. The moon stares at all of you. What is this?
Your table?
My table.
Or two.
Or two?
I don't really think we need to. Oh, we do. As Pluto grabs onto Moon's arm, leading them down the energy, you can see there's a clear line of energy from the Ouija board to Pluto, it's a ghostly image. As they sit down, the Moon sits down, and this horrid creation of pasta and Olive Garden goodness is there in front of them.
So many breadsticks. That'll make up for it.
Did we put the explosives in the spaghetti?
Did we?
Yes, of course.
Okay, you can have, sure, yeah.
I mean, the chef is dead, so I just wasn't sure what seasoning he
Right.
used.
Yeah, right before they come down, I'll quickly try and do that. Put the explosives in the in the spaghetti. Spaghetti.
This is known as their spaghetti. The H is actually really emphasized, so is the G. A lot of them get it wrong. The person who invented the word was really strict on this. Like, I wanted to be called spaghetti. And I guess it was lost in the memo.
I'm gonna find one of the letters from some hipster that's full of Pablo Neruda poems, to really like set the mood, and read it behind them as while watching for Luna, like over my shoulder.
Luna's still only halfway done, so you got some time.
Same.
And you see Pluto is facing towards. They're both eating some of the spaghetti, making strange faces. It's like, this is how it's supposed to taste. It's
Yes. A very romantic meal. It's supposed to remind you of your love for each other.
So, are you gonna give it up? Are you gonna give up the big moon job and move back to the small outer rim of the galaxy? You know, maybe we even start a family there. You know, just because I'm in the inner part of the galaxy and I am harvesting the humans of the planet, still am, mind you, doesn't mean it's wrong. It doesn't mean it's bad. Just because it's not outer rim living doesn't mean that it's not. It's always just a focus on these traditional aspects. Why can't we progress forward without it seeming bad? Because there's no heart to it. There is no heart and tradition to what you're doing. You're just doing this to be the big next god.
While Pluto's saying that, I'm gonna like have like a couple more of my like heart-shaped candy canes that were left over that were like infused with Christmas spirit, and I'm just gonna like try to make them play like wistful Christmas songs about coming home. Like, I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams, and it's just gonna play that.
All right, let's do some rolls for everyone. So we got some reading, some ghostly poetry to try to set the mood. We have some music coming from these little hearts. And what's happening, Mr. Humphrey Jr.?
Oh, Mr. Humphreys Jr., I think, is let's see. I think he just really is put in a lot of just like heart into the things he created for this meal. And he's really hoping that as they use the spork and as they look at the beautifully carved rose made out of ice, that they'll remember that humans are more than just putting two guys in a ring and they beat the shit out of each other. They can also create beautiful things.
All right, everyone do some rolls as I'll speak to the scene. The moon looks down at the spork. Did you know the humans have a meeting with all their countries called COP, where they bring a bunch of oil executives there as well, and they pretend to help out their planet, but in reality they're just making more deals for fossil fuels. And it's under the guise of something they call greenwashing. And you see Pluto going, that's interesting to see. If you eat all of them, they're never going to be able to have this cop out, you know? What are you going to do about that? Then they can't wreck their planet more. And that's their right to ruin everything for themselves. And what do we get for some rolls?
I got a 10 plus 2, 12.
All right, so there's beautiful, wistful Christmas music telling them that they should be home.
What was I roll? What am I adding to this roll?
If you're talking about like your art, so I guess we could do science with that one.
Beautiful. How about a 13?
All right.
For reading quotes about bread and love to them from Neruda, I rolled an 8. So if it's a cult, that's +3. If it's science, it's +2.
I mean, either way, it's a win. So you're very much set up this scene, and they're losing themselves in this discussion of humanity, as they're hearing this poetry, this music is going. They're looking down at the fine craftsmanship of everything going on. They hear the crunching of Luna, and they're sort of losing themselves in this moment of, you know, if I let humanity, if I let some of them live, you know they're just going to find another planet and ruin it, right? Yeah. Because you made them like that. I didn't make them like that. I wanted them to be highly productive in creating more of themselves. You created little planet eaters. Just like you.
Got Dad's eyes.
I guess they,
I.
I guess they do wreck a planet pretty fast, huh? The moment they had one of their first really big wars, they permanently damaged some areas. Wow. Look at that. That's just like you. Remember when you populated Jupiter? And by consuming so much of it, you just ended up turning that place into just like a gas giant? You removed any of the physical ground that those people were living on? Guess I did do that, didn't I? Yeah.
You have to let us make our own craters too.
I don't know. Maybe we could put oil on another planet and point them in that direction. That's kind of fun, right? Maybe we'll even put another species there and have another war.
I hold like frog guts above their head and explain the mistletoe custom to them on Earth.
Yeah. So
You need to kiss, but while eating your spaghetti, or else Santa doesn't come.
They look at each other and blush a little bit as their faces open up sideways, eyes looking in different directions. It's all human teeth on the inside of it, as they have like a little mouth hole, this long tongue reaching out as they're sucking up spaghetti. What would you all like to do?
I'm gonna run to the Volkswagen.
Yeah,
Well, towards,
I'm like slowly backing away.
but I want to swipe up some of Bart's blood so I can wipe it right on the hood of the car and be like, "Won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" And see if Rudolph will get us out of here.
I'll snag the. I'll pick up the. No, you said the Ouija board was like it had like a weird
Like a tether
connection.
towards
a tether.
Pluto.
It's tethering to Pluto, yeah.
That's. I'll leave it. I'll leave it where it is and hop in the car.
We should probably bring Bart too, right? I took some of his blood.
Think
Oh, he's
I don't
gone.
think
Luna's
there's
eating
any
Bart.
of Bart left. Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
talk
But
with
But we'll
a
take him
mouthful.
with us in our hearts.
Yeah.
As you leave the scene, the ghostly image of Bard appears behind you, giving you a thumbs up.
I feel some of his love letters from when he was a teenager start to come into my body. I was like, oh yeah, he's fine. And kind of pretentious.
Just
Really
how
just
we knew him.
finding himself, you know, in those years.
My heart's
course,
like
of course.
thunder too sometimes. I get it.
As Bard is being hired on as like an intern for death.
Yeah.
I have too many souls to process right now.
Unpaid.
And he's like, I got this, man. I got this.
So you are all quickly trying to get away from the car as you're looking down at this very rudimentary little explosives, like you like the buttons to press, and it's sort of like every so often flashing, sometimes sparks a little bit, and you're all hopping into the station wagon. I guess at least Dear John can float in the back, and you don't have to be sitting on the open wound.
Just hang on.
So
Take us to the North Pole, Humphrey.
okay. And the station wagon
I don't
revs
actually
up, starts just going forward. The blood illuminates on the hood as both the Pluto and the moon look towards. They look a little confused. The station wagon just ramps off. I need all of you to make me a science check real quick.
Science.
Like my third 8 of the night, so +2 for 10.
All right.
That's an 8 for Humphreys.
Okay.
7.
So this rumbling shoots out as the explosives in the spaghetti just erupt. We see bits of the moon are flying everywhere, and Pluto and the moon both scream as you feel this reverberation. The windows shatter on the station wagon as he screams in pain. This is a lot for him. And this reverberation goes through all of you. And since we have an average of a so-so success, all of you are taking 1 harm from this. And you see in the very center of the moon, there is a coffee cup. It says world's best boss. Oh boy. It doesn't look like the explosives took it out. What do we want to do?
Oh, no. Well,
You
gotta
turn.
go grab it.
Yeah, I'll drink it.
Are we gonna ram into that coffee cup?
Is it large or is it regular size?
Yeah, it's a regular coffee cup that's just in the middle of the planet or the moon.
It's-
or
brought
is it
that
like
up.
It's quite large. It's quite large.
Ooh.
Put me in it.
Put you in the coffee cup?
I'll gather the letters from here till the end of time and just build a moon around that mug. The Earth still needs a moon.
But I think the coffee cup being there means
The moon's still alive.
the moon's not the moon's not dead.
We just kind of blew off half of its head.
Yeah, it's just
Right.
severely wounded and probably a little angry.
Do you have anything that'll wreck it?
I have chisels and ice.
Let's drive closer and at least take a look.
Yeah.
Sure. The station wagon putters along. The moon is screaming. Its tail is its tongue is lashing outwards, sometimes hitting the earth and spinning it a little bit, which we all know isn't going to be great for all those on there.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
And so you get a little bit closer and you see this moon, its coffee cup visible, and there is a person that is floating on a piece of moon rock. They have their phone out. They're recording themselves. Hey everyone, just made it to the moon, only to find it's pretty much wrecked. Trash. AKA worst destination. But I still found this cool crown. Grants wishes and stuff. Just cost your soul. Sounds pretty good. And you all know the hit YouTube TikTok celebrity, random person in line A, is there. As they're floating on a crown, like, oh, now some weird station wagon with the power of family is starting to go by me. Awkward.
How close are we to this person?
Not too far away at all.
Do we have cell phones?
Yes.
Could I call the shadow government for the toy maker elves to have them start pulling strings to put the moon on the naughty list
Sure.
to see if their heart possibly turns to coal?
Sure. Roll me occultism.
It's a 1
Hey, how's it going?
plus 3.
This is the shadow government for the elves.
Press 1.
Hi. We heard that you want to put somebody on the naughty list. Let us
Operator.
transfer you.
Thank you.
Hey there. It's
Hey.
Cinnamon Happy Song. How are you doing?
Hey, Cindy, it's Dear John.
Oh, wow. Hi, dear John. How are
Yeah,
you?
that one. You know, I'm dead, but I'm on the
Yeah.
moon. We're gonna need a transfer from neutral list over to naughty list. Trying to eat souls. Just kissed on a first date, it seems, and it went real bad.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
unfortunately, they did also eat all the billionaires currently, so it's kind of permanently put on the nice list.
heckin' dang it, Cinnamon.
Listen, my hands are tied and the Christmas party is about to start. I'm
You're not
sorry.
supposed to tie your hands before the party, Cinnamon. I hang up the phone.
Party foul.
Yeah. Sorry, the elves are in cahoots.
Dang it. I'll
Right.
Oh, go ahead, Rose.
So as we like drive past the TikTok YouTube sensation who's holding this crown that grants wishes, can I just try to like hook the crown away from them with a candy cane?
Yeah, roll me a face punch.
That is an 11.
All right, so you take this. You have like a larger candy cane. It's like the fun root beer one. As you reach out and hook the crown as they're going like, and I have this crown that nobody can take from me because I live the best. Oh my God, somebody took the crown. You all saw that. That was a crime.
He's gonna cancel you.
So now you have a crown.
All right, the crown of granting wishes.
Yeah.
What does
All
it
right.
do?
I assume it grants wishes. So,
They say the cost of a soul?
It's like a
Yeah.
perfect thing I'd name a trap, though.
You could
The crown of anything you want.
Yeah, you could summon
Yeah.
something to take care of this cup.
yeah. So I'm just gonna be like, hold the crown, both my hands, close my eyes. Dear Santa, I want for the moon to stop eating people permanently and forever, possibly turning back into an inert rock that does everything the moon is supposed to do, like the tides and stuff, without all of the bad stuff. Thank you.
Roll me a cursed item roll.
10.
And that's how they took the soul out of Christmas.
So you hold this as you feel this power reverberating around you. The whole car is shaking. You're all looking down at the crown, and you start hearing a song as the radio starts to tune in. The lyrics saying, and they say that a hero could save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. As we look up from over in one of the continents, there's a beach that still has its water that's splashing up. There's a small little bar there. Everybody's having drinks. It's the end of the world. They don't know what they're doing. And there's a little hot dog. And they're holding on to a shot glass. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Maybe I'm not the hero I was meant to be. And the Nickelback song starts playing in the bar as this Christmas magic starts floating around Hot Dog Jr. as they start lifting up. And the evilness is leaking out of them as the Christmas joy is seeping in. Hot Dog Jeremy becoming the superhero he was always meant to be, using the crown. And fair enough, Holly Merriweather Soul. As he starts to feel the strength of hot dog eating contest enter into him. And he lifts into the air, looking up at this moon. Half of its face exploded, and he bursts through the walls there. It ends up accidentally killing one of the patrons, sailing into the air. This Nickelback song still weirdly playing as he sails through, going out past the clouds, out of the stratosphere, into space. Hot Dog Jeremy, smashing past the car, going through like the broken windows as this Christmas energy goes around. There's little decorations all over the car now, and it goes, and the moon's eye turns towards Hot Dog Jeremy. You'll never win. This isn't enough. You're not strong enough, Hot Dog Jeremy. You're but a junior. You don't understand. My father is passed, and I have a little hot dog child of my own. You don't mean I've become a senior?
Yes.
They smash into the coffee cup, and just this implosion happens as the moon screams out. Pluto screams out. She got too much into her role. And shatters out. These rocks just start sailing around, but oh no, they're going towards the earth. So Hot Dog Jeremy does what hot dogs do best. He starts expanding. Using his powers, his hot dog flesh, reaching out, grabbing these different parts of the moon, gluing them together, and using the powers of Hot Dog Jeremy, now senior special abilities, it coats around the moon, creating a perfect satellite of hot dog meat. The new moon.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It's beautiful. I think it's more beautiful than the old moon.
I think I'll just stay up here.
Holly Merriweather, your soul is gone. As you sort of just lean forward, feeling your life slipping through. What happens with Holly Merriweather at this moment as she's experiencing this final light?
She looks down at her hands, and then she's like, I don't feel the Christmas cheer anymore. I just realized Santa's not real, and neither is Rudolph or Frosty the Snowman. And like, I kind of knew they weren't real because, like, you know, they're kind of like made up for children. And I know that like the mall Santa that I used to work for is just a guy named Derek. But like now I actually feel it, that they're not real. And I don't even know why I was excited for the company Christmas holiday party anymore. So, that's kind of a bummer, but I guess I did save the planet. So, I guess that's fine. I just wish I could have had one more real Christmas.
How many wishes does the crown have?
Whoever
I have no idea.
How many souls do they have?
One soul a wish, you know? You just pop it in like another quarter and crown's ready to go.
Convenient.
I'm going to give them a bunch of really goth letters that I have. Like, you're going to need these now. And like a Cure album. Maybe this will help.
I'll put a hand on Holly's shoulder and say, they're real in our hearts. It's the joy. They're real in the joy you brought to other people.
Just like Bart.
Just like old Bart.
As the station wagon descends back into the stratosphere, back past the clouds, finding some land that isn't completely annihilated. Humanity has been absolutely devastated, but you did it. You saved the planet. And the tires touch down. Holly Merriweather, you're looking down at your gothic letters and Cure album as you feel your eyes close and your little light particles drift away. It's just the Christmas sweater there remaining. The two of you, as the car stops, you hear a as the smoke billows out, the tires fly off of the car, and the station wagon's gone. It took everything to bring him there. You look, you're on a beach side. There's a small bar with a hole in its wall, people screaming that a man just died.
I'll pick up Holly's sweater. And I'll just tuck it under my arm. And I'll look at Dear John and say, do you drink?
No, don't even eat. They were too young, Humphrey. I think I'm hanging this gig up.
Me too.
Just kind of shake their hand before like a Shawshank Redemption walk off down the beach. But if the camera was going to fade out, you'd see that Dear John has two weird masks now. And it's just going from crying to viciously laughing to viciously crying to viciously laughing as they walk into the distance.
Farewell, dear John.
I kind of
Farewell.
100 yards turn and just put my hand up
So
and vanish.
we leave the Earth now having a hot dog moon in Pluto slowly rotating around it. The surface has been unimaginably wrecked. The waters, the pollution is slowly starting to fade from them, from the cursed entity. Now, there is a lot of other pollution that is still there, but from the moon's influence upon the world, the plants are going back to being just plants. The air is cleaning, so most of the water is going back to normal. Food is starting to reappear where it had disappeared, and the earthquakes have stopped. For the first time, the Earth has no billionaires and very shrunken population, but maybe this time they'll get it right. You did it! You defeated my moon! Congratulations, everyone!
What the power of
Yay!
love!
I just imagine the ocean smelling like hot dog water all the time now.
Yeah.
It just seems kind of moist.
That's the new normal.
Yeah, that's just what everybody will expect from there on. There'll be whole generations that will have only known the hot dog water ocean.
I'm
I
just
remember when the
imagining,
ocean
like-
was salty.
Eating the
it's still
meteors from the
salty because
moon
it's hot water.
will be
Oh, yeah, you're right.
for the new rich people.
Flying up to the moon. We've been drilling for days. It's just hot dog meat.
But
We'll
also
never
it's like so
starve.
smooth now because like the skin of a hot dog is
That's
like,
right. It is horribly smooth. when the sun hits it just right, it is blind. There's like a
You can smell it.
yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Every day,
cooked.
Pluto looks from the other side of space just to catch that glare and remember.
Remember once was. Oh, that I never know the directions these are ever going to go in.
Yeah, that went somewhere.
What wonderful fun.
Genius, the love letter.
yeah, that was
Awesome.
really good.
So good.
I'm like, my face punch is 1. I'm going to try to romance something.
I thought I was gonna die first. I have 1 hit point left. I didn't put anything in hit point.
I have 2, and I gave 1 to a car.
Bart left it all on the floor.
There was a string of bad rolls for
Yeah, it was like the nat
periods
one and then the nat one.
where everyone was just taking nothing but damages. The plans were not going well, but oh, it
It's a
was
super fun game.
yeah, that was a blast.
Oh man.
This game definitely empties my brain by the end of it. But I do hope you
can't
all had
imagine why.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great fun.
So
Yeah, it was great.
fun.
If we want to go around one last time around the table, anything you want to promote, anything you want to talk about, anything like that, by all means. So I have been your GM for the evening. If you enjoy this tale and want to hear other Battle of the Seven Dice goodnesses, we have all sorts of stuff up on YouTube. We have a finished Lancer game. We have I think a Mouse Ritter 2-shot that we did, Mothership game, Delta Green, all sorts of stuff. So we have all these like finished shorter campaigns, as well as 2 completed Dungeons and Dragons games that are, I think they each took like 2 years to finish. So they're very long. And then we have our ongoing Escaping Carcosa. So check all that out. That is up on Ballad of the Seven Dice's YouTube page, as well as we have our podcast stuff going on. Let's go with the same order to make it easy. Rose.
Yeah. So I also write books. I fantasy, dark fantasy, more leaning towards the dark fantasy. So you're not going to see Holly Merriweather type characters in there. But you can find out more at my website, yrliu.com, yrliu.com.
Rara.
I'm Rara. Pretty easy to find on Twitter and Blue Sky. This is like the end of everything I've been doing this year, so kind of excited for a break, but still have a little podcast going where I try to make people cry. It's called The Heart is a Dungeon. Spotify, places like that.
Awesome. Lottie?
I'm Lottie. I am part of the Fairy Fire podcast. If you like D&D and you like D&D that's an all-female table, come check it out. It's on Spotify. And then I have an upcoming podcast called This Is Words, improv comedy podcast where me and my co-host sit down and make up a bunch of facts about random and mundane topics. So if you like being confused or you like confusing the people in your life, it'll launch hopefully by the end of this year. We've got a shiny new Instagram up and going, so come follow us to keep updated on that. This is Words.
Nice. And Jeremy.
I hope everybody had half as much fun as we did playing the game. And you can find me again on Blue Sky on their Solar Run Studio or at solarrunstudio.com.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. It's been an absolute blast, and this is wrapping up this season of The Lost Tower of Ambrosia. Until next time, everyone, bye now.